Welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday. I am excited to talk to y'all. Ooh, wee. So, Spirit started off my prayer today talking about peace and grounding. And there's been a little bit of theme over the last few weeks of Spirit saying they want you to anchor into an intention or a quality or a characteristic on purpose. Specifically on purpose because, again, there are so many competing voices, ideas, directions, and you're here to be you. And it's one thing to take good cues from other people. It's another thing to feel like I'm not good enough. I need to change this about myself. Why am I not like that person over there? Why do I not have their gift or their skill? Because you have your own. And the more you anchor into yourself on purpose, the more you will discover and get really excited about your gifts. Good morning, good morning. Yay! I am so happy to read for y'all. I was a little under the weather yesterday, so I appreciate your patience. How do y'all feel about doing this on Saturdays versus Sundays, by the way? Just curious if one would work better for you than the other. Okay, so reminder, peace, grounding, stability, anchoring or rooting into yourself, your own personal qualities, and specifically things that you want to develop. Spirit is saying, yes, to a certain degree, there's like a feeling of you were dealt a hand when you were born, right? These are your cards that you're working with. This is your physical body. This is your mental facilities, et cetera, et cetera. And you have a hand that you can play, so you want to play it. Yay, me too. Okay. So let's get into the daily forecast. The week ahead from today till we next meet, presumably next Saturday until further notice. Hey, hey, Maria, welcome. Excited to see y'all. So let's pull cards for the week, starting with today. Keeping in mind that message of anchor into who you want to be. Yes, you are dealt cards, but again, if you want to, Spirit's giving me, like showing me character sheets for people who play role-playing games, D&D. It's like I have this much charisma, I have this much intelligence, I have this much physical strength, and you develop your character, right? Just like you develop yourself. So you could say, you know, I have felt like a wallflower for most of my life, and I would like to show up as a more confident person. You can do that. You can tap into that and try that. And my beloved says, it's not fake it till you make it. It's practice it till you master it. So you're not faking it as you try this thing on. You're just seeing what it feels like. You know, like you got to break it in a little bit and then it's going to fit you. Okay? Might feel a little weird at first, but it will grow to fit you as you practice it. Okay. All right. We're just talking about breaking in courage like a leather jacket. Ain't no big deal. Okay. Let's get into it, Spirit. The day-by-day forecast for the highest good of all of us who tune into this reading, Spirit. Want to know always the truth for our highest good. Good, bad, ugly, tense, peaceful. When we know the truth, we are better equipped to deal with it. So please, Spirit, show us the nature of the week ahead. What we can expect to interact with today and until next Saturday, Spirit. What does it serve us to know about? What does it serve us to bring into our awareness? Spirit, what helps us all step forward into peace, ease, fulfillment, understanding, abundance, ease, love, joy. Just a few more, Spirit. The week ahead. And one more. For when we next meet, Spirit, what will be the flavor of the day that we next meet? All right, let's see what we got here. Stay. Okay. I think, what I want to say is there's a breakout. Hey, hola, welcome, Fernando. Yeah, there's a breaking free this week There's making a bold decision to unburden yourself. I feel like this is why Spirit opened the reading talking about, you can pick qualities that you want to develop and anchor into yourself. Just because something doesn't come naturally doesn't mean that you can't cultivate it on purpose. So, our card for today, Sunday, Four of Pentacles. Please take a look at where you might be limiting yourself. Look at where you might be boxing yourself in, much like this person is. Notice how they're wearing like a crown and furs. They have all this beautiful, rich land, but they've decided to make this teeny tiny little fortress that they can barely fit inside. So you may have unknowingly boxed yourself in to something. And I feel like the rest of this week is a little bit about looking at that and making a different decision on purpose. So Spirit talking about you were dealt a hand, but you get to play the cards, and don't forget to play the cards. It's all about how you play them. If poker were all about who gets the best cards, then there would be no skill involved. It would be a luck game, right? So play your cards with skill. Look at your resources, pentacles, and go, where am I thinking this isn't good enough or this isn't enough? And by virtue of me thinking it's not enough, it's not enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not investing in it. I'm not seeing what I can do to cultivate it or make more of it or share it. I feel like you want to be a little bit more open with your skills and your money. That's just what I feel. So if there is something that you want to practice, if there's something that you want to develop, you might want to invest a little bit of your resources in that and not tell yourself, oh, I don't have enough time, for example, to do that. This isn't just about money. Resources are tangible, pentacles are tangible resources. So I don't have the time to devote to developing that skill. Well, maybe if you weren't scrolling your phone for that that 20 minutes a day that you could condense into one little practice session each day, you might find that you develop something a lot faster than you're telling yourself you could, and that might be keeping you in there, right? It's like, I'm already this age, I can't learn to play guitar, or I can't code, or I can't whatever. No. You might be lying to yourself and keeping yourself looking a little bit silly, like a merchant with a crown and furs going, I don't have any money. I don't have any skills. You have it. Come step out of the crib. Step out of the playpen. You have it. Monday, the star. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I know. Sometimes it hits me the same way as I'm listening. But beautifully, Monday, hey, maybe even just hearing these messages and hearing this reading helps kind of pry those Four of Pentacles doors open and helps you see yourself in a more, I'm hearing like holistic way. So like the star is nude because she's not armored. She's not trying to protect herself. She's not trying to box herself in and say, again, this isn't possible for me because fill in the blank. I'm not saying that there's no validity to the limits or to the chokes on your channel or any of that. But I am saying play your cards. Don't go, don't fold. Spirit's telling you to play your cards. So even if you think your hand sucks, play the hell out of it. Okay? Okay. So the star is like, I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be perfect. Spirit has been talking to me a lot about values. What are your values? How do you decide how you behave in life? Because if you don't know what your values are and you don't know, again, like they were talking about in the beginning, I want to anchor into being a more courageous person or a more present person or a more compassionate person or whatever it is. When you anchor into that, it's a lot easier to know what to do. Because then when a person is rude to you and you're like, oh, damn, I'm trying to be more compassionate, you know what thing that you want to do, okay? So the star is telling you on Monday, be open to the world and let the world see you for who you are. Bumps, lumps, scars, cellulite, whatever. She's naked and she's like, I don't care. There's nothing shameful about this. Like, this is why I'm out here, and I am here to give and to receive. Right? I am here to nourish the planet and my community and my life with all that I have to give. And I'm much freer to do that when I'm going by my values, the star, right? My faith, versus what I see right in front of me, right? Again, very understandable and reasonable. Most of us humans go off of what is right in front of us. Right at my bank account, I see this number. Okay, but my faith is telling me this person is worse off than I am and I should give them the $5 even though this is all that I have. and then see if the universe doesn't pour its beautiful picture right back into you, because that is just the law of nature. Okay? Don't put dams up where they don't belong. That's just what I'm hearing. Tuesday, breakthrough, honest conversation. And I'm hearing it's an honest conversation first with yourself and then with somebody else or with like the world. For the Spirit is showing me several things right now. For some of you, it's like, I'm going to post this. Like, I'm finally going to say this thing in front of the whole world. For some of you, it's like, I'm going to initiate this conversation with somebody. This has to stop, or this has to start. Ace of Swords. I have to be honest with myself and then honest with other people in order for things to change, because the aces bring about change, new beginnings. And the Ace of Swords, a change based on an honest, direct conversation or invitation. So say it. Don't, Four of Pentacles, don't hold it in, no, that can never happen for me. No, they would never accept that. No, like, don't stop yourself. Let the world tell you no. This was coming up in somebody else's reading, so if you've heard that more than once from me, please take that as like a double down from Spirit. You let them tell you no. Don't tell yourself no first, okay? The Star. You are perfect as you are, and you can always change. You are loved unconditionally by Spirit as you are, and you can always develop your character and change things about yourself as you decide to. And then you can share that truth with the world and be like, this is who I am now. Okay? So, it's a really breakthrough week, and I feel like you are freeing yourself from certain internal and external like parameters that either you have put on yourself or other people have put on you. Hey, welcome, welcome. Happy to see you. So Wednesday, after that breakthrough Ace of Swords conversation, and Spirit is really drawing my eye to the sword in the hand of this one of the pair of lovers, by the way, you have an incredible, bold new, when you're honest with yourself, it brings you to a choice point, because the Lovers is about choosing. Spirit is giving me a description that they haven't given me in a while, but they're asking me to say it, okay? So they're saying, think of the Lovers like this. Imagine for a minute that you are single and that you are at the grocery store in line, and somebody in front of you is taking a while, and so the person behind you just engages you in some chit chat, and it's like, oh my God, this is the most attractive person I've ever seen, and there's immediate chemistry, and you're laughing, and you're getting a little deep, and then before you know it, it's your turn to get out of line, and it's like, ooh, what do? Do I say something? Do I say something to this person, right? And you do, and they're into it, and you're soulmates, okay? Now tomorrow morning, you get a call. It is your dream job from your dream city, saying, we want to pay you your dream salary to come move to your dream city to do your dream job. And you're like, I just met my soulmate, and they are, for whatever reason, they need to be here right now. What's my choice? It is a really bold, beautiful, exciting choice. And they both sound good, but which one is aligned with your soul? And there's no right answer to that question, okay? I'm not thinking, you're supposed to choose love. It's all about love. Some people are here to do their work, right? This is about you. This is about you making the choice that is aligned with you, not with what anybody else thinks, what anybody else says. You do what feels natural and true to you. Okay? Okay. You might be able to change your life more this week than you might think. I know that that sounds extreme, but that's what they're saying. So these little decisions that we make to show up more, or to ask for what we want, or to share what we believe, they can have really big repercussions, okay? Now, speaking of big repercussions, Thursday. 10 of Wands. Spirit's like, it's almost Friday. That's really funny, but that's what they're saying as I look at this. So one of the mundane things is just like, oh my God, are we there yet? It feels like you're carrying a lot on Thursday. This is the still the daily forecast stuff. So I am hearing that you are close to the finish line, but Spirit wants to ask if you want to take this all the way to the finish line or not. Is it worth it, or do you want to drop it? It feels a little, it's like okay, this is what I'm hearing. Some of you are overburdened, and it's like, this is too much. This is too much, and I want to be done with it. And we'll talk about the cards in a couple seconds that show me that some of you are really going to choose to be done with it. Now, whether you, let's say, quit the job Or decide to yourself, I'm getting out of this job and I'm going to begin to take steps to get out of this job. Either way, that sets things in motion, okay? So for those of you who are like, I'm overburdened, I'm over this, this is way too much, on that Thursday, take that for what it is and believe yourself, and don't, like, this is just what I'm hearing, don't numb, medicate, soothe yourself into thinking this is not too much. If it's too much, don't try to get through another day, is what I'm hearing. Try to change how this is going to be as soon as possible in your future. You know what I mean? Again, play your cards. Don't be like, well, this is the hand. This is it. These are my cards. Play your cards, okay? Now, for some of you, those of you who are not feeling like I'm overburdened and this is too much, I feel that for some of you, this 10 of Wands vibe is I actually am getting really close to the finish line with something. And so I'm going to be able to drop these wands, but not for like a few more days or whatever, okay? So for those of you that vibe with that, hold out. Hold out. There's a good outcome, and then there's a shedding. So Friday, very Friday energy. Love to see it. The Empress. Kick back, relax, receive. And what I'm hearing with this is also magnetize. So for some of you, again, especially following that 10 of Wands, there's a feeling of like, I've been completely overworking, and this is important, it hasn't even been getting me what I want. If I'm like working my ass off, but I'm making tons of money, or I'm feeling really fulfilled, or what I'm having the outcomes and the growth that I want to have, that's one thing. It's another thing to be like, I'm putting in everything and I feel like, where's mine? That would be a sign to you to stop overdoing it, over giving. These are the things that I'm hearing. So if you know that this is you and you're a person who's like, oh yeah, sure, I can do that thing, even though you're already like, oh my God, how am I going to do the 900 other things I said I would do today? And now this person's asking me for this, but I don't want to say no, so I'm just going to say it. And then Spirit's like, and then we could circle back around and start the week again like this. See, I have no room to change because I have to do all these things. You know what I mean? Like, how could I change things when I'm so over, you know? So I'm just saying, there's more room to change and be honest with yourself. And again, even just being honest with yourself kicks things off. So even if you can't just, of course, quit the job or stop fulfilling this task that you said you would do for this person right this moment, you can at least decide to yourself, okay, this was it for me. This was the day, writing in your journal, this was the day I decided I wasn't going to do this thing anymore. And I'm going to keep you posted on the journey of not doing this thing anymore. Okay? That's just what I'm hearing. Okay, sorry, we went back to Thursday real quick. But the point is, because Friday is you getting to sit back and be like, you know what, I deserve to receive. And Spirit is saying something really important, which is you might find out that you have actually been like circumnavigating your own receiving because you are like, for reasons that are understandable and valid, like kind of like, no, I have to do, to the point where sitting back and receiving is like a skill that is untested and unpracticed, right? So as we said earlier, practice it till you master it. Practice sitting back and letting people appreciate you, letting people give to you, letting people ask you what you need. Spirit is saying for some of you that Ace of Swords could be a conversation where you have with like a significant other or like a roommate or a family member or whatever, where it's like, look, I know that I've been doing this. I can't do it anymore. It's really important to me that I blank. Like I learn this skill, or I need to get a different job, or I need more time to care for myself because I'm feeling burnt out, whatever it is, okay? You need to ask for it and then do the uncomfortable work of actually like letting that happen, and not, for example, getting up and going, no, I can do that. It's like, wait, I asked them to take this off of my plate. So let them do it. You know, ask your teenage kids like, hey, I love you. I know I usually fold your laundry for you. Mom really needs a fucking nap or whatever. And like, I need you to fold your laundry. Okay. Thank you. You can do that. You can ask for what you want. You are not hemmed in. You are not stuck. Play your hand. And then fucking enjoy. Enjoy the fruits is something Spirit is saying. And I'm hearing for some of you, you know how a person who is like 9 months pregnant is not supposed to be carrying pounds and pounds of groceries and shit like that, right? They're supposed to be, yes, ambulatory, but taking it pretty fucking easy. If you have something you're about to give birth to, like a creative work or something that you feel is growing inside of you, remind yourself that overdoing it and overexerting yourself has negative repercussions for you and for your creation. So if that can help you stop overdoing it, stop overdoing it. I feel like you don't need to. And actually, I feel like if you overdo it, we could end up at this next card that I have currently showing up for next Saturday. So let's see. We're going to get to next Saturday together and we'll talk about it. We'll see if any of you are experiencing a Ten of Swords. Now, as I look at this, Spirit is saying, like, here's something. Nobody wants the Ten of Swords. Okay, let's be clear. Like, I'm not mincing words. Nobody wants to see the Ten of Swords because it's like, ugh, a painful ending to a long and difficult chapter. But also, if it's been a long and difficult chapter, wouldn't we prefer to see an end to it, even if it's a little bit painful, even if it's a little bit dry, even if, yes, indeed, we do have to dust our hands off at the gravesite and turn our back and leave this behind. So some of you, when you ask for that thing, I feel like you get a negative answer. And Spirit's like, and that's your answer. That's your answer. Now what? You've played that hand. Now what? What will you do now? You won't, right? Just continue doing the thing that feels like it's not feeding your soul or feels like it's draining you, or again, just simply feels like it's not leaving you time for you and your own self and soul development. Make the decision to cut that shit off, even if it's painful. And I hear for some of you, this is just as simple as being like the pleaser and the helper around other people and having to kind of rescind and pull back in some of your energetic tendrils that you've been feeding knowingly and unknowingly to all the people around you and being like, you know what? I need this for me so that I can get out of this Four of Pentacles and I can step further into who I want to be, how I want to enjoy life, unfettered by what other people think of me or want from me. How do I behave? So, just saying, can be a very beautiful week when you tell yourself, I don't have to be limited. I can make changes as I go. So make them. Okay? Okay. And we'll be together next Saturday. So again, we're going to check in on that Ten of Swords and we're going to pull a new card for that day and see what else they want to say. But Spirit is singing Don't Fear the Reaper. Blue Oyster Cult, one of my favorite bands, is singing Don't Fear the Reaper. When the Ten of Swords comes around, it's because something needed to end. And that's why there's a sunrise always, consistently, over every single Ten of Swords card that you can find. You will see signs that better days are ahead. Okay? It's just on the other side of making this decision of something that you're really done with. And you're going to know that you're really done with it because it's like, like at least this I used to want to fight for this. I don't want to fight for this shit anymore. That's just what I'm hearing. So if you feel the fight has been drained from you, that's like your wands being drained from you, okay? Like, okay, all right, the fire is out. It is dry as a bone. Okay. So there's your daily forecast. That is what the week is bringing to you. Now let's get into the elemental forecast for all of the signs. And Spirit is saying start with fire. So we will start with Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Let's pull a theme for the week, Spirit, for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. What do you want them to bring their awareness to? What can they expect to encounter in the coming week, Spirit, that knowing about serves their highest good? Beautiful card. Okay, what about money, jobs, opportunities, resources, Spirit, for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, when it comes to their money, love, okay? How about their headspace, communications, messages? What is the mental realm looking like for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius? What are they thinking about? Okay. Now, how about their emotions, their connections, relationships, their feelings, love? Okay. Finally, their energy, Spirit. What is their energy feeling like and how can they best direct it? What do you want them to know? Love. Fire signs, please don't hesitate. This sounds so funny, but it's like, please don't hesitate to shine. Please don't think that you need to think more about this. Let's talk about it. Okay. Your theme card for the week couldn't be better. The World. It's the final card in the tarot. It's the card of having a bird's eye view of your life and the events of your life and going, I get it. I get it. Oh my God. Like, it's not that I'm glad that I went through this thing, but I needed to go through this thing in order to learn this thing, which took me over to that place, which got me here. And now I can make these connections and I can choose something new. Because the end of a cycle, right? The complete circle, the infinity symbol, always leads back to the Fool. Always leads back to, well, now I've learned that and gone through that. What's next? Because life is ever evolving, right? So you have completed a cycle and you should feel very proud of yourself, whether this is a big public thing or whether this is a private completion of a cycle of like, I really finally detached myself from this unhealthy habit or this toxic relationship or whatever it is. You should be very proud of yourself and you should be looking on purpose for places where you have learned. And Spirit is saying it like this: I've learned and I will never do it like this again. Not because like, oh, this was so terrible, but it's like, I learned that this is how I want to do it, or this is the way it works best for me. So I'm going to do it like this now. You should be very proud. So looking at money, opportunities, jobs, income, looks like a nice little bump. And I feel like it's a little bit unexpected. And I always, when I see the Ace of Pentacles, it's always like, this is a golden opportunity, not to be confused with a silver platter. This is not a whole complete thing. There you go. You won $1 bajillion in the lottery. You're done. No, it's an ace. It's like if you treasure and take care of this seed and cultivate it, it could grow into a lot more than you know about. So an opportunity could be way better than you know about, or a skill that you've just begun to try to cultivate could grow much bigger than you think. Okay? Now, what I don't want you to do is let your head get in the way. Two of Swords is like, I don't want to make the wrong choice, so I'll just sit here. Maybe there's more information coming, right? No. That is going to make this clearer. No. Spirit is saying this is a thing where sometimes we convince ourselves, we tell ourselves that like, if I just know more, then I'll do it. Then I'll be okay to take the risk. And Spirit is saying more knowledge is not going to help you make the choice to take the risk and to be more visible, to show up and share more. These are just things that I'm hearing, and we'll talk about your cards. You might be leaving also your feelings out of the equation. This person has their back turned to the sea, right? They're not taking anything but their head into account. And things can look very different in our head than in practice and in the real world, okay? This is very like sterile, you know? Things don't happen in a vacuum, which is why Spirit is saying, knowing more is not going to help you do more or do better. You should just go ahead and put your hands in the dirt. You should just go ahead and put your hands in the clay. You don't need to look at the clay anymore and go, but should I mash it or should I squeeze it? You know, like put your hands in the damn clay and work it, and then it will show you. That's what Spirit is saying. Like, it will show you as you go. Oh, this is what you want to be. Oh, this is how I'm going to do it. You figure it out by doing, not by thinking. Good morning, Roy. Welcome. Happy to have you. I think something that would help you also is to get around other people who have similar goals, or not the same, okay, but similar. It's like we can support each other in our desire, okay? Three of Cups is also about like 3-part harmony. And this is where Spirit was talking about showing up and connecting more. That Two of Swords, again, very sterile, very insular, a little bit like that Four of Pentacles that we saw earlier for today's forecast of like, are you maybe boxing yourself in? Are you maybe telling yourself like, I can't go any further than that? I feel like there are people who would give you a very good reception. And Spirit is saying that they're being very punny with that word. So maybe some fire sign people are doing like a wedding reception this week or something like that, because this is a beautiful party and being surrounded by friends. Please take some time for fun. Pure and simple, Spirit is saying, especially those of you who might have been stuck in your head. And yes, as Steph said, stuck in like that analysis paralysis. Like, oh, I don't want to make the wrong move. Okay, well, get some input. Get some input from people that you love and trust and that you know support you unconditionally and want to see you succeed and be at your best. Finally, Your own element, fire signs, the Six of Wands, victory, showing up and being seen, being applauded, promoted, lauded. These are the words that Spirit is using. This person has the laurel wreath sitting at the top of their wand. That is a sign of like Spirit is saying blue ribbon. That's really funny, but they're saying it. And so it's like, I don't know, if some people it's like you might get literally promoted. Some of you, it might be like, oh, that promotion comes with a pay bump, like new title and a little pay bump or something like that. That could be one way that these cards play out. Another way could be showing up in the world, showing off a new skill that you haven't yet shared, right? And then people being really more excited about it than you could have even expected, and you going, oh my God, have I been like holding myself back from this, even though I was totally ready for it, totally ready to graduate, but I was maybe telling myself like, oh, I don't know. You do know. You do know, and if you don't know, you will find out by working it and trying it and practicing it rather than trying to think it out and make it perfect before you begin to practice it or build it or grow it. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, fire signs. I hope that that is helpful. Now, let's talk to your cousins, the air signs. My sword people, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius people, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Dominant. What is the theme for air sign folks this week, Spirit? What do you want to make them aware of for their highest good? Okay. And how about when it comes to their resources? Money, jobs, projects. Okay, interesting. And what about their own element, Spirit, their headspace? Hey, interesting. Okay. This is an interesting little story that's developing here, air signs. And what about relationships, feelings, the realm of the heart? How is the realm of the heart for the air signs this week, Spirit? What are they feeling? Who's showing up? Who is highlighted? And finally, Spirit, what about their energy? Spirit's talking about your vibe. They're talking about cultivating your vibe on purpose. That's really interesting. We're going to talk about it. Okay, Spirit, please give me a card to represent their energy, what they need to know about it, how high or low it is, how you want them to direct it, or what you want them to be aware of about it for their highest good. Awesome. I am hearing, if you get really clear, there is a clear path to move up and to grow. That's just what I'm hearing. Let's talk about it. The Emperor is your overall theme for the week, air signs. This is the Aries card, right? This is why our Emperor here has ram's horns. So what does an Aries do? An Aries claims themselves, their space, their desires, their skills, etc. And Aries is all about me and the rules I make for the empire of my life. So air signs, what are the rules in your life? What empowers you and what disempowers you? You know, like here's just one example. You could have a phone call with one person and you get off of the phone and maybe you were even talking about your problems. Let's just say we were talking to two different people about our problems. Person A, we call them, we talk about our problems, we hang up the phone feeling buoyed, feeling like, okay, I think I can do this. Like I have a much better idea of what I want to do now or how to handle this, etc. And we can talk to person B and we can feel totally deflated. And like, I can't even do anything for the rest of this day. I need to go lay on the couch and veg because like that person just energy vampired the fuck out of me, right? So Spirit is like, you want to be really clear about your boundaries and what again empowers you and supports you, the foundations like the Emperor, and what disempowers you, what crumbles your world out from underneath you. Shore up, firm up your habits, your rituals, your routines. Again, the things, you know, the Emperor is number 4. So it's like the benevolent version of that 4 of Pentacles where it's like these rules really help keep me secure and on track. Okay, now Spirit is like literally showing me a train track. So it's like when they said that there's a pretty clear path or track or, trail toward victory, this is what they're talking about. If you will put these things in place that keep you within the proper boundaries, that keep you safe. Okay? Got a couple different aces. Your money and resources and your headspace. Brilliant idea. And we had that Ace of Swords in the daily forecast also. So for any air signs that were already feeling, oh, there is a conversation I need to have, or a boundary or a line I need to draw, right? Then Spirit is doubling down. You have something incredible to offer, but it needs care. It needs love. It needs cultivation. The Emperor puts rules in place that help seeds grow. It's like putting a fence around a garden, right? All kinds of things will want to nibble on your Ace of Pentacles, but so you have to put the boundaries around how do I help this grow, rather than just, this one little seed could get eaten up by a squirrel and then it's gone, right? It's like it's that precious and that delicate. This could either become an orchard or this could become squirrel poop, depending on what I do with it and whether or not I put up my fence, proverbially. That's funny. Okay, so take your brilliant idea, cultivate it, protect it, put rules around it that grow it. And also on a mundane level, even those of you who are like, I'm not trying to cultivate a new skill or get a new job, you can grow your money if you put the rules around it. So maybe some of you have been feeling like that's where you're leaking power, is like, my God, I always end up at the end of the month scraping by. And there are places where I could like, all right, maybe I don't need 3 to 5 streaming services. Maybe I need this number or whatever. And I'm going to move this money over here and allow myself to build up a little nest egg. Put some rules around it. Take care of it. The Emperor is the who's your daddy. Who is your daddy? What does he do? You are your daddy. You acting as your own benevolent, divine masculine, right? Those divine masculine qualities. What would a good father come in and be like, hey, I wonder if you could get up 20 minutes earlier and do that then, or whatever. Like, here's how we can put some boundaries. Okay, remember, don't go to sleep until you've had your vegetable. Whatever. Be your own daddy. He big like you. Okay. And when it comes to emotions, feelings, there's a lot of potential for, let's say, squandering some big creative energy. And I'm just going to put it like that. It's no problem. Okay. We're air signs. We have great ideas all the fucking time. We're always thinking, right? But the 7 of Cups can indicate, this is what Spirit is saying. Watch out if you are someone who's telling yourself, once I get the money, then I'll be happy. Once I get the power, then I'll be happy. Once I fall in love, then I'll be happy. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. This is the only card in the whole tarot deck, right? In the original Rider-Waite, we just see the shadow of a person here. And the whole point is that this will fall flat if you expect it to fulfill all of your wildest dreams. When this happens, I'll be happy. Don't do that to yourself. Be happy today. You might get hit by a train tomorrow. You're not going to, but you see my point. Anything can happen at any time, so waiting to be happy don't make no goddamn sense. So don't do it. And be careful not to diffuse your energy across too many things. That can also be an air sign disease, right? We have a lot of interests, like a lot of curiosities, a lot of skills, a lot of etc. I could do this, I could do that, I dream of this sounds cool. But when we do that, we can squander and diffuse our energy across those 7 cups. And it's like, we need a full cup to really satisfy our thirst rather than a few drops, scattered across cups. Okay. Narrowing your focus could deepen your satisfaction. This is what I'm saying. Okay. Emperor, what are the rules? What is my focus? Where do I want to be? Okay. A clear path to victory, to ascension is what Spirit is saying. And they're not talking about spiritual ascension. I don't even want to talk about it. Okay. There's too much of the bullshit out here. Right here on earth, rising up in your life, rising up in your own estimation is something that I'm hearing, because you're being brave. That's what I'm hearing. So it's like, you know how people, the old phrase of self-esteem comes from doing esteemable acts. Self-esteem is not just something some people are born with, or oh, you have it or you don't, or I don't know how to create self-esteem. Yeah, It's by doing things that you are proud of. It's by doing things that you see as cool or good or awesome and amazing, okay? I see you doing something you think is cool and awesome and amazing. Your one warning, because it's aces and it's emperors, that's powerful as fuck. So your one warning is don't squander this energy. Don't diffuse this energy over 7 or 8 things. Pick something that you want to make some progress on and step into it in a big way. And you could have a big, wide road open up. Okay, because that's what the Three of Wands is. It's like I'm climbing Mount Everest and I have reached base camp 3. And now I can see, oh, wow, that's where I was when I started. Holy shit, look at me now. Now what? I have so much further to go in a positive sense. Like I could go anywhere from here. I didn't know I was capable of this. So it's like some of you might feel that you were squandering and scattering your energy. And alternatively, the other set of you might be feeling like, because I learned not to do that, I'm really feeling excited about what's ahead for me because I'm building it, not because I'm like waiting around for it or hoping for it. Okay? Okay. I hope that that is helpful, air signs. It makes sense with what Spirit was saying about grounding at the very beginning in the channeled message. Grounding into who you want to be, how you want to be, and then seeing the results of that. So being yourself on purpose. That's what Spirit is saying. Being yourself on purpose looks like, who do I choose to be? Not like, oh yeah, these are my natural qualities and I just kind of walk around life and whatever happens, I kind of react to it. No, I choose, okay, I'm going to show up in a compassionate way or a courageous way or whatever. Okay? Okay. Let's talk to the water signs because that's what I'm hearing. Let's talk to Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces people. Remember, if you have a water moon or a rising or a few signs in a water sign, or I'm sorry, a few planets in a water sign, even if it's not your sun sign, there will be significance in those messages for you. So thank you, Spirit. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. What do you want to share with the watery people as an overall theme? Wow, well, that's appropriate. Okay, all right. And Spirit, what about money, resources, jobs, opportunities, funds? What do you want to share with water sign people for their highest good? Beautiful card, okay? How about their headspace? What are they thinking? What is the quality of their words, of their thoughts? Interesting. Okay. And how about feelings, Spirit? What about their emotions, their connections, relationships? What do you want to highlight for the realm of cups, for the water signs? Okay. And finally, Spirit, what about their energy? Their fire. Are they lit up? Are they fired up? What do you want them to know and do, wow, about their energy? Okay. Things are not always what they seem, right, water signs? And we know that better than some of the other signs because water signs are, whether they like it or not, deeply connected to the unconscious realm, the collective unconscious. I'm just going to say this because this is what Spirit is saying. Many of my water sign people who are listening will know that sometimes they find themselves overwhelmed with emotion and it's seemingly, quote unquote, out of nowhere. Water sign people, you are divinely attuned to feel what the world is feeling, and that is why it is so important for you to take care of yourself. So important to have boundaries, to care for your feelings, to, if you need to have a cry, have the cry, and have it in a place where you feel safe and supported, and etc. You have a lot of water, you have a lot of feelings, you have a lot of spirit, and it needs to move, okay? So, very, very appropriate card for my water sign people, the moon. Specifically, the moon is, of course, it's the Pisces card in the tarot. In astrology, the moon rules Cancer. Usually we have a lovely lobster dude crawling out of the sea, kind of scorpionic crustacean. You are being asked to tune deeply into your feelings, and specifically, even deeper than your feelings, your unconscious patterns. The pull from old, deep memories. Most water sign people I know have very great memories because each memory, like each thing that has happened to you has made an impression. You know, like if you press your hand into like a really soft pillow or memory foam or something and you can see the shape of your hand, things touch you. And some things that touch you, you don't even remember where they came from. So some of your hesitations to show up, or some of your fears or longings or instincts are coming from places that you are not aware of, and some are accurate and true, and some are lies. And so it's important for you to be in touch with your shadow self. Okay? This card looks extremely creepy, right? We've got our friends here seeming to, you know, dance under the moon, having a good time, and out comes creeping this like horror movie Grudge-like figure, like about to creep out and grab them by the ankles. Here's the thing. If you are in touch with your shadow, then you will grab her by the hand, pull her up onto the shore and say, hey, we're dancing under the moon, join us. Not, la 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 la, she's not there, I'm not scared, this is fine. Like, you're not going to do that, right? So this week, knowing yourself through and through means even your darker parts. So what do I mean when I say darker parts? I don't mean evil. I don't mean bad. I mean hidden. I mean unconscious, as in, okay, have you ever had this experience? You're going through your day, everything's going perfectly normal. Some, you know, your partner or your family member or whatever says something and you snap at them. And you're like, I didn't even, like, I didn't even know that I was boiling over and I just snapped at you. I didn't mean to do that. This is Spirit's example of that's coming from somewhere. Something is pulling on a string way down deep outside of your notice that has you kind of like Pavlovian response. When somebody calls me this, I do that. When somebody asks for this, I act like that. Do you know what I'm saying? You want to know what and from whence, like what is pulling your strings. And am I choosing consciously what I do, or am I being led by old patterns? And Spirit is having me say this. So for some of you, this is directly related to, like, I'll just say mommy issues. The moon relates to the mother, right? Like the first and the primal source. And some of us have rocky or difficult relationships with our mothers. And if that is true, then we're starting from like a different, like Spirit is showing me a race and saying, like, here's everybody at the starting line and then here's you back here with your mommy issues, right? Because over here, these kids all feel supported and loved and like from the jump. And then here we are trying to catch up, right? You need to reparent yourself. If you file under people with mommy issues, people who were not given the love and the support and the unconditional acceptance that they needed, it is your job now to give that to yourself so that shadow doesn't reach out and grab your ankle and have you do or say something that you don't want to do, okay? And that you don't mean to do. Something that's like, again, oops, I can't believe I said that or did that. Self-awareness is really important. Why am I saying that? I want to jump here. Somebody could act like an asshole and pull something out of you that you do not want to express, okay? 5 of Swords is the nanny boo-boo, stick your head in doo-doo, I'm taking my ball, I'm going home, and you can't do anything about it. Like, nah, it's that kind of card, that immature, childish energy. And this is a full-grown adult, mind you, the person who is doing this, right? So I feel that if you are not conscious and aware and being very, like, again, taking the hand of your shadow and pulling them up onto the land and saying, like, oh, okay, when I get insecure, I can act a little funny. So I'm going to bring you right up here next to me so that I don't lose sight of you and you run around behind my back and start pulling my strings and have me say and do things that I don't actually feel aligned with. That's an old pattern. That's an old way of thinking. I'm past that. That's obsolete. Okay? So for those of you who, for example, have the mommy issues and it's like somebody, you know, your mother perhaps spoke to you in ways that she never should have. And you were made to feel either parentified or like you were not good enough or whatever. Somebody, maybe even your mother, that could be why Spirit is leaning on this so hard. This is not true for everybody, of course. These are general readings. But somebody could even come through that says something that reminds you of that kind of, those conversations, there's fights you used to have. And depending on how well in touch with yourself you are, depending on how conscious you are. Oh my God, that is so sweet. That So cute. I can't even see the full chat, but that is so sweet. Sorry for interrupting. The point is that you want to be completely aware of what you're doing so that you act the way that you want to, and so that you act in a way that you can be proud of. That if somebody wants to be immature or shitty or deceitful with you, that you still act in accordance with your own values and your own soul, okay? So that you don't get accidentally pulled into this. So Spirit is saying be aware of your triggers. Be very aware of your triggers. And knowing your triggers makes you more powerful, okay? It makes you more effective and powerful when you know this can really throw me off and I need to stay exactly as I am. Also now I'm going to try to be a little more aware of my F-bombs and things because again, I didn't see the full thing, but it looked like that person was 2 years old. Respect to you, 2-year-old. I'm not trying to teach you exotic words you shouldn't be saying. Now, beautifully, when it comes to money, resources, and your skills, right? All that file under Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles is look at you being able to pat yourself on the back and say, I really did that. I can see the tangible rewards, the tangible fruits of my labor, right? And 9 of Pentacles, I'm also seeing as some people, okay? Some people will never see you for who they are because they have their own blindfolds and biases and projections on you. But I feel that other people are actually going to see and celebrate you, and that's going to shore up some of your confidence. So while somebody may be acting immature or crappy, look at me, that was a compromise. Then other people are going to be looking at you and giving you the appreciation and the support that you need. Spirit is saying part of this is because, you know, the universe is arranging a level up and a level up in terms of your self-love, your understanding. Oh my God, is it a fur baby? Oh my God. Okay, please say it's a fur baby so that I can let loose all of these blue, all of this blue language that I want to use. Okay, beautifully in the realm of feeling, 2 of Cups. So yes, again, some pettiness or some immaturity may be coming at you, but definitely appreciation is also coming to you. Somebody who is on your level, someone who is open, vulnerable. Spirit is saying emotionally available. Like, yes, here's my cup, right? Oh, thank God. Fuck, shit, motherfucker, cock, twat. So when it comes to your energy, love to see it lit up, a new spark on fire. So this person, in the long run, you may actually look back and be like, you stupid shithead. I am so grateful. Like, I am so grateful because you really lit the fire underneath me to care about myself, to do what I want. To say, if that person's going to act like that, even when I'm doing my very best, well, fuck it. I might as well act like me. I might as well be myself and do what I like and show up the way that I want to and get excited about what I'm excited about. So this is something that Spirit is saying loud and clear. There is something that you are great at and that you are excited about. And somebody might try to cut the fucking legs out from underneath you, cut the passion, cut the excitement out from underneath you. Oh, you're really going to do that? Oh, wow, I saw that thing you posted. Or like, oh, cool outfit. You're really brave or whatever. And don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. That's all I'm saying. You might look back and be glad that that person helped you refine, like, you know what? Yeah, you're the exact kind of person that I want to be like, ugh, I hate what you're doing. Excellent. Then I must be doing fucking great. Like, because you suck. So fired up to be more of yourself and to be proud of yourself. And it might be a great week to liberate yourself from people who are scared and projecting that fear onto you, projecting that like insecurity onto you. They could never do what you do. So they are crabs in a bucket trying to grab you, pull you back in the bucket. Don't fucking let them. Okay? Crab in a bucket trying to pull you back in. Don't let it happen. Okay. I hope that that is helpful. Ooh, to my water signs. Eee. So now, finally, let's talk to the earth signs. Let's talk to Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Exactly. Exactly. I need a bumper sticker. All right. Spirit tuning in for the earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What is the theme overall for them this week, Spirit? What do you want them to be aware of for their highest good? Spirit pulled 2, so we're going to have 2. Okay. That's fun. All right. All right. All right. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What about their own element, Spirit? Money, resources, opportunities. Yes, I agree. I agree. Thank you, Spirit. Money, opportunities, jobs, resources. What do the earth signs need to know when it comes to their money and resources? Love. Okay. And what about their headspace, thoughts, communications? What kind of words? What is the quality, Spirit, of the words, the communications inside and out? All right. And what about their feelings, relationships? Spirit, what about the water? What is showing up in the realm of emotions? Okay, for the earth signs. And finally, what about their fire? Spirit, their energy, their creativity, their passion. Oh, earth signs. Don't work too hard. Okay, that's the first thing. Don't work too hard. All right, we're going to talk about it. So, as I said, Spirit pulled 2. So you get a beautiful bonus card. These are 2 very, very powerful cards to get for earth signs. The Emperor as number 4 is arguably like very earthy in that sense, right? All about boundaries. What are the rules? What are my limits? What do I have? What do I lack? How do I work with it? Very, very pentacle-y, very earth sign. Now the Magician throws some creativity, some self-direction, some excitement into the mix. So you are working on something, it feels like, that you feel really excited about. And I want to say, I know that the earth signs are like the least likely of the group of signs to take this advice. Okay. I understand that. But also, if you are an earth sign listening to this, then you clearly are more open than perhaps your average earth sign to receiving guidance from strange places. Spirit is saying, we would love for you to, on purpose, earth signs, if there's something that you've been wanting to create, like this thing that they're talking about, like the Emperor, like, here's my creative idea or skill, and then Emperor, how do I put it to work? How do I make it work? What are the rules? What are the unsexy, unglamorous step-by-steps that get me to the sexy, glamorous, big, tall goal? Okay? Take some time to see what you can channel. That's what Spirit is saying. As above, so below. Let me sit in prayer or meditation, or you could do this in earth signy way and do like a brain dump about this thing. It doesn't have to be like, oh, Spirit, what should I do about this thing? It could be, I'm just going to free write all these ideas I've been having. And you might find that as you're free writing all these ideas, you're like, oh my God, I never thought of combining it in this way. I never thought of like, oh yeah, tick, 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 tick. Now that's what I wanted. That's what they're saying. The Magician is an expert, they're like an elemental DJ. They remix and rearrange the wand, the cup, the sword, the pentacle. You have everything that you need, so please don't tell yourself that you don't. We're going to talk about why I'm saying that, okay? First, when it comes to money and resources, the growth, it's like the prognosis is good. Spirit's like, you are on the path to growth. 3 of Pentacles is not 10 of Pentacles, right? It's not even like 9 of Pentacles. But it is a great milestone, and also saying that you have good people around you, whether that is in real life, you have advisors or friends or mentors or teachers that are giving you good advice about how to grow your skills or how to grow your business or how to grow your money or whatever. Whether they're in real life or it's like, oh, I've read this book by this person, or I follow this podcast by this person who knows about money or who knows about creating or who knows about whatever that you're trying to cultivate. Look to teachers. Bring in new perspectives and new expertise, because Spirit is saying that could be part of the remix that you end up doing. Like, again, I've been doing it this one way or thinking of doing it this one way. But when I get this new input, whether again from like channeling, from free writing, from talking to a mentor, listening to a podcast, whatever, something could pop in that's like, that was the missing piece. This was what I needed to know. And now I can, Spirit is saying you got to know the rules to break the rules. That's something they just said very clearly with the combination of the Emperor and the Magician. Okay? So my earth signs, you got to know the rules to break the rules. And yes, you can break them. Yes, you can change them. Okay? That's just what I'm hearing. Don't tell yourself that you can't. Don't tell yourself that it has to be perfect before it can exist. Don't tell yourself that you have to be perfect before you have a fucking right to exist. Okay? I know some earth signs who kind of act like that. Right? So, Eight of Swords is ultimate classic analysis paralysis. I've thought about this for so long that I've armed myself with all the reasons why it can't work. I've armed myself with all the reasons I'm not ready, or it's not ready, or it will only be allowed to be seen when this, and it's like ultimately I am holding myself back. This person is blindfolded, they are tied up, but they're not tied down, they're not weighted down, they're not guarded, nobody is here. They are by themselves, and if we look closer at their bonds, they could pretty much be shrugged off literally. And then she could remove her blindfold, see the swords, and skillfully avoid running into them, right? They're also her own swords, so you might be using your own resources against yourself. You might be letting your mind work against you. It's just what I'm hearing. So don't convince yourself that you don't have it. If you need new input or guidance or mentorship, go get that. But you yourself do have everything that you need. That's why Spirit was saying, like, it doesn't have to be, let me talk to my in real life mentor. You might be able to, again, read a book, listen to a podcast, watch a YouTube video, and it's like, boom, there it is. Okay, I just had a missing piece, and now I can take off my blindfold, and I can figure this out. And here's the thing. These things do not stand in her way. They are actually around her. She can put them to use, if anything, okay? If she's looking at them. And if she's not looking at them, then yeah, she could hurt herself. She could make a mistake, cut herself a little bit on those thoughts, okay? Let's take off the blindfold. Now, I want to pull one more before we talk about this next card. Spirit, tell me just a little bit more about this. Yeah, okay. When it comes to your heart space, Five of Cups. Again, earth signs, I love y'all. And I got some big earth placements myself. We can sometimes be so stuck on what didn't work that we can let what does work kind of fall away or empty out or go to seed. Okay? Because it's like, yeah, but it was supposed to be like this, but it was supposed to be like this, but it was supposed to be like this. Well, it wasn't, and it's not, right? And I don't mean that it's invalid that you feel that way. I mean that it doesn't change anything to stand there and continue to say they're empty. Yeah, they're empty. They're empty. Yeah, they're empty. They're empty. You know what I mean? Like, yes, and clarifying card. Look at the Two Cups behind her. Look at the Two of Cups as your clarifier. If you are one of the earth signs thinking that you will never be able to meet friends or a lover or people that love you, understand you, are interested and emotionally available to you, don't believe that. Don't believe the lies that we tell ourselves to hold ourselves into our discomfort zone, okay? The fear of going is sometimes worse than the fear of staying. That's the Eight of Swords. But there's more out there for you if you go. Okay? There's a bridge behind this woman leading to a big bustling city. When she's ready, everything is in place for her to be able to create a new life. When she's ready. And Two of Cups, your cups will be refilled and with something better for you. So don't go chasing after old ass empty cups. Yes, exactly, Maria. Feel it so that you can then move on. And yes, there is something new coming for you. So if any of you are feeling truly like, I lost someone or lost out on something that I really wanted and I'm really sad, that's very legitimate. And Five of Cups would say, yes, this has been emptied out, but God emptied your cups so that he could fill them up with something that was now befitting of who you are. Okay? So I just want you to know that that's on the way. That said, between the Magician and the Emperor and the Three of Pentacles, you might overwork a little bit this week. go easy on yourself, earth signs, or signs are like the most likely to carry a 10 of wands and be like, I have to do it all by myself. That's really the thing that spirit is highlighting most, is like, I have to do it all by myself. You might be, again, telling yourself something that's not true. There might be actually some people around you that could really help you, whether physically, mentally, emotionally, creatively, whatever. They could help you so that you don't feel like you have to carry everything all by yourself. So I just want to say, you don't need to overdo it. You don't need to work hard. You need to work creatively. That is going to have much better, quicker, and more satisfying results than holding yourself to a very limited view of like, it will only be perfect or complete or whatever if it's just like this. And then you can accidentally really choke your channel and make things really like limited. So open up, and especially open up to your own intuition, to spirit as an ability to send you messengers, teachers, words, phrases, books, videos, whatever. Open yourself up to that. Ask for it, and then act on what you receive. I feel that you will be very pleased, and I feel that you could maybe put a little bit of a kibosh on this thought that it has to be hard, that actually like it could be a lot easier than you think it is, and you might be kicking yourself a little bit at the end of it, going like, damn, like I've been really pushing myself and working myself so hard, and it did not need to be this hard. That's just what I hear. It could be more fun and more creative, and you could receive more support, as long as you're not like, no, I'm too strong for that. Oh, I don't need anybody. You can do that if you want to. I just don't think it looks as fun as as the other. Thank you all for being here. We have reached the end of our forecast. I appreciate y'all so much. I can't wait to go back and be able to read the full chat. I need to fix this thing so I can read y'all during. I appreciate you so much, though. I loved what I saw. I'm so excited to see you next week. Find out what's going on with that Saturday Ten of Swords and get a little clarifier on the day of. I hope that for all of us, we are putting an end to overthinking. That's what I see also with that Ten of Swords in the weekly forecast of like, I've been really keeping myself extremely tight and limited, and like there's not enough air. I'm going to take myself out of the box. I do not need to be perfect. I do not need to be irreproachable. I just need to be. Okay. Love you guys. Take care. It's always a pleasure. I am excited to see y'all next week. Yay. Thank you so much. Love, and extra, extra love to the mods. Thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all keeping the space safe and clean. Until next week, I'll talk to y'all then.